Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Rinehardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Rinehardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
Shakely Mechanical, fully qualified to help you select the best HVAC or plumbing system to fit your budget. Need AC or heating repair service? Living in North Central Ohio, Shakely's is your go-to since 1995. Exceptional service, exceptional products. Look up shakelymechanical.com today.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Mary's, Ohio for this Division II Regional Championship between the top team in Division II, the Madison Lady Rams, and the St. Mary's Lady Rough Riders. Hello, everybody. My name is Travis Berardi, alongside Ontario assistant coach Greg Atkinson. Greg, you've seen both these teams up close and personal as we are underway here. First, start off with St. Mary's. You guys have seen them up here.
Yeah, so, we played them, game 2 of the year for them, 2-1 victory as we headed up here to their place. I think you're going to see a lot of similarities that we saw. They don't necessarily have the level of competition over on this side of the state like we have there in Richland County. So you're probably going to see a little more defensive-minded, counting on kind of a counter. and seeing if they can sneak in a goal here and go from there. And I think, Zach's already kind of aware of what they're going to toss, but that's what kind of expecting today. They're not going to have outside of Lily Ackerman up top. I think she's got a total of about 20 goals. She had 2 in the last game there to propel them to this position. So she's going to be one to keep an eye on. But
that's offsides called against Madison. But Coach Zach Huff told me before the match that St. Mary's, their goals that they scored in their last match, a regional semifinal victory against Menor Lake Catholic, they try and poke the ball up over top of the defense and pretty much use their speed. Today it might be a little bit of a different game plan because Madison's speed's pretty much going to cancel that out.
Yeah, I think that's going to be another one to where same thing. You got Trinity and Phyllis back there in the back. They'll match up well. And, I mean, as you're seeing here to start with, St. Mary's only starting out with 4 in the back, 5 in the midfield, and only 1 up top. So you've got to be a special player to be able to go and compete and be able to get by the defenders you're going to have for Madison today. So that's going to be a tall task for her up top.
So just underway here in this regional championship game. It'll be a throw-in for Madison. Carrie Eckenweiler will take that, and it's pretty much been all Madison here for the first couple of minutes. St. Mary's now on the offensive. That's Tabby Naus getting it back into the middle of the field, but nobody there. Phyllis Stanfield will clear it back out.
I think a couple keys today that I'll have an eye on, and we saw it in the last game with Chesney Davis. I think everyone knows at this point who Taylor Huff is, who Nevaeh Lewis is. It's going to be keys for Carrie Eckenweiler, your Chesney Davises of the world. How can they get involved? How can they, make the most of an opportunity that they're given it? So that's one I know that I'm going to be keeping an eye on today.
And Chesney Davis, 2 goals last match. She's now at 23, but a lot in double digits points-wise, actually. So actually Chesney Davis now with 7, but Taylor Huff with 30, Nevaeh Lewis with 16, Carrie Eckenweiler with 11, then you have Davis with 7, Tucker and Page with 6. Just a balanced squad that anybody can score. I was telling Brian in the regional semifinal, all but one on their roster of 22 has hit it into the back of the net, and Kirsten Swigert, she's the one that hasn't, but she still has 2 assists. So everybody on this roster has points recorded on this season.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's going to be a key, especially on a day like today. I mean, you can't get much better of weather.
It's a beautiful day, about
Close
70 degrees.
70 degrees in November. It's you can't ask for much more. And I think today, and talking with Zach, and I'm sure if you were to ask Rough Riders coach Nick Wilson, hey, would you much rather play Madison on grass or on turf? You're going to need a well-balanced attack today. But if you're on turf, I would say definitely advantage to Madison, just to be able to use their athletic ability and speed. So probably a little strategic move by St. Mary's. I think we both passed by their turf field. It didn't look like it was occupied by any means. So not sure what exactly was going on there, but.
I actually looked at the schedule. The football team still in the tournament, but they're playing out of their stadium. We actually went to the stadium first because we thought that's where it would be. That place is huge.
Yep.
And then, this is pretty much a setup like Ontario. Jory Hollenbeck, our camera woman, she's up on the dugout above Madison right now because there's not much space. There's a small press box that St. Mary's is holding on to. There's a through ball, but a little too far.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here early on is St. Mary's is trying to hold more of a high line. They're forcing their defense up to the midfield and kind of enticing and maybe trying to catch Madison off sides here. So we're going to have to see a little more strategic play here for Madison to see if they can time that right or even just dribble straight through that offsides trap. So
you saw number 2, Tabby Naus, the senior midfielder. She has 11 goals. She's the second leading scorer. She has a cast on her hand. But, in soccer, you pretty much don't need your hands anyway, so that's you're able to play that. We had a collision there. Going to keep playing. And another offsides called. So Madison trying to get it up to Nevaeh Lewis early on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're actually going to move it back here. They're going to call a foul.
Oh, okay, so the collision was a foul.
For St. Mary's, we were waiting to see if Madison had advantage. They didn't have anything kind of come to fruition from there, so now they're bringing it back, and and allowing Madison to play from here.
And there's Taylor Huff trying to advance it up to Lewis, but just too far out of reach. Huff pretty much on her way to her 4th straight All-American. She's the District Player of the Year once again. We found that out a couple days ago. But not only Taylor Huff being the dynamic playmaker she is, but it's just so spread out. You could have anybody can score on any given night.
Yeah, I think you've got a lot of right pieces to the puzzle here. Definitely a well-balanced team. I think we can even attest to it at Ontario when you go and you say, yeah, you can try to slow a Taylor Huff down. There's no necessarily stopping her, but then you have to go and you have to worry about a second, a third, a fourth option, and not many teams can go and say that, and that's why they've achieved the success that they have over the last 4 years. And yeah,
that's going to be offsides.
I think that's 4th or 5th offsides already for Madison. I mean, if you notice there, you got 3 girls just lining up, ready just to go off to the races. We're going to need to start seeing some diagonal runs, kind of coming straight across that defense and then peeling off. Because right now, what St. Mary's is wanting to accomplish so far, it's working. But
and it might be, it's the regional championship game. You got a little bit of those jitters, maybe. Yep. As the game progresses, they'll probably calm down and get in that offensive set that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and this is going to be the key, like Zach's challenged Nevaeh all year. Even though you're a freshman, you're going to have to mature a little quicker than, most freshmen will, and I think she's going to have to just simply use her soccer IQ today, adjust to what she's seeing, and there's just too much speed up there to where eventually this is going to break loose.
And pretty much all Madison has to do is try and avoid the perfect storm. And I keep bringing up the Bay regional semifinal a couple years ago where, Madison might have been the better team, but, their goalie was outstanding, stuffed Taylor Huff multiple times, and they had a couple chances on net, and they were able to capitalize on one of those and play phenomenal defense. And that's pretty much the game plan that any of these teams that are going to face Madison this year are going to have to play. They're going to have to play perfect defense, and they might not get many chances at the net, but when they do, they're going to have to put it into the back of the net.
Yeah. That I would agree 100%. We even have ran into that over the years to where you get into a regional final. Yeah, you think you're the better team, or maybe there's been times where we've played a Salina team over this way and beat them in the regular season, thinking, all right, this is going to be another one. We're going to advance to a Final Four, and they come out and they kind of catch you off guard. And I know Zach's aware of that and has challenged his team. And again, you've seen them do that over the years. I think the Bay game you talked about, I think that was a lesson learned for them. And they've come and treated every game as if it's the last. And that just, again, goes to show the leadership and the capability of this group of girls.
Paige Mowery checking in for Ashley Bechtel for Madison, while Maddie Anthony checking in for St. Mary's. St. Mary's 17-3-1, a really good record.
Yeah.
They lost 3 of their first 4 matches. Then they tied Ottawa Glandorf. And 16 straight victories.
16 straight unbeaten streak, if I was reading it correctly.
Yeah.
And there's a couple stretches there in the middle of the season. I do know they kind of catapulted up through the state ranking. They beat an undefeated at the time and 6th-ranked Lima Bath team. And then 2 nights later, they beat a 6th-ranked and undefeated Anna team in Division III. So they had a couple quality wins there middle of the season, and that's kind of carried them through. I think they finished they were tied with us, 10th in the final state poll in Division II. So they've definitely earned what they've gotten from a result and ranking perspective as well. So.
Yeah, they defeated Bath 2-0 and Anna 1-0. And during that streak, 14 of the 16 matches, they didn't even give up a goal. Yeah. The 3 goals came in their district semifinal against Salina. They won 2-1, and then against Menor, they went down 1-0, scored with 16 seconds left in the half. Went down 2-1 early in the second half and scored with minute 16. Then they get the golden goal in overtime. So this team, battle tested. That was I believe I don't think they met Menor, but Madison beat Menor 2-0 in the regular season. Zach Huff actually liked this matchup better because Menor was a physical squad.
Yep. Yeah, that was one when I was talking to Nick Wilson there for St. Mary's for the game. And number 2 here on the sideline, you talked. She's got the broken arm. He said that occurred in that Mentor Lake game. He said there were a total of 3 yellows, just a very physical game. And I kind of chuckled with him and said, yeah, that was exactly what I know Zach wasn't wanting, was to have to see Mentor Lake Catholic, and I'm sure St. Mary's was glad to see them heading back north.
Yeah. And just Madison, I know Granville was one of their main tests. They tied them. They went down 2-0 early. But both matches against you guys in Ontario, we were saying it in the broadcast, it's just a shame that Madison and Ontario are in the same district, because you both are solid squads. I believe it was, 11 straight district finals that your dad, Larry's, sent the Lady Rams, as that goes into the side of the net.
Good opportunity there. Who was that? Natalie back up top. I do believe that was kicked in by
Chesney Davis. And, yeah, that was Natalie back.
There with just missed it there.
So just off the side of the net, and we remain scoreless, but really the first solid chance Madison's had today.
Yeah. Like I said, I think we're just gonna need to see one chance here.
Nevaeh Lewis. Oh, that got kicked. Actually cleared out.
That's where I'm kind of talking. I would say, Nevaeh is going to start to learn here. Hey, can I just go ahead and just dribble straight through the defense? If they're going to be pushing up with her speed that she has and the skill, instead of trying to pass it and getting another potential offsides trap. Let's see if she can make those adjustments here as the game goes on.
Eckenweiler, a little bit of an errant kick, but back to Taylor Huff, over to Eckenweiler. 27, just under 28 minutes remaining here. Opening half, we're tied at 0 in this regional championship match. Kicked in by Taylor Russell, deflected off the goalie, but cleared out. And another close chance.
Some hesitation there by the goalkeeper for St. Mary's. Maybe we'll say the sun in her eyes coming from there, but that could have been dangerous.
There's Huff. Gets a kick on net. Saved. What a save.
She got down very well on that.
Kylie Tennant.
And I was kind of curious, and I think she answered the one question I had. She's a taller individual. Okay, she should be able to get a lot of shots up in the air. But, okay, how is she going to get down to the ground and then quick enough to be able to save in one shot so far from Taylor there? I'm impressed with that save there early on.
Back the other way comes St. Mary's, looking to get something going. Eckenweiler able to get away for a second. And the ball's advanced up, and Eldridge able to corral it.
There was that counter we kind of talked about, so they played it to Ackerman up top. She kind of waited for, 3-4 individuals to come and get around her, switch the ball, and honestly, I think that's probably going to be the only chance that St. Mary's is going to have is on that counter.
And that honestly came, that was a nice play there by Lewis to get the ball back, but it honestly came, Eckenweiler was unable to really get her foot on the ball and gave St. Mary's a chance. And that's one of those, that's one of those plays that St. Mary's is going to have to capitalize on is Madison mistakes.
Yep, and from a Madison perspective, you're wanting to make sure you minimize that. Don't give them a gift that they may technically haven't earned.
Here comes Huff. Looks to advance it to Lewis. Just out of the reach of her, but she's able to get it back. And finally cleared out.
I think the back line here for Madison, you've got the firepower with the Huff, with the Lewis, and I think sometimes people don't give them the credit that they deserve in the back here, and they just are relentless. They're not giving you an opportunity to get a touch and turn and take it at them. They're getting it right back down your throat and then tossing it back up to your Huff and your Nevaeh Lewis of the world. So,
and in the regional semifinal against Toledo Central Catholic, that back defensive line of Madison played a pretty much perfect game. Toledo Central Catholic had 2 shots on net, but they weren't, solid attempts, but they were still on net.
Yep.
But other than that, Madison played phenomenal defense and controlled that match from start to finish. And we're going to look to see if they could do it again here against this solid St. Mary's squad.
Yeah, St. Mary's stringing a couple passes together, working the ball around. I know Madison's made a couple subs here. We've got a couple more freshmen into the game.
I'd like to thank everybody watching today. Live and free on EOH Report. That's kicked in, but Eldridge able to easily get that one out. Everybody watching live and free on our Facebook and YouTube channels. This match brought to you by Baker's Collision Repair, Mechanics Bank, Park National Bank, Rinehardt Law, and Scout Construction LLC. We'd like to see where everybody's watching this match from. Just comment on the Facebook and YouTube comments section. We'll give you guys a shout out. So we have another substitution. As Marissa Adderholt will check out for the Lady Rams.
I was going to say we've got a good variety, some underclassmen in right now for Madison. Shannon Jamison is in. You got number 24, Savannah Rachel is in. So a little bit of balance there with your seniors and then some freshmen.
Yeah, these we talked match in and match out about the freshmen that Zach Huff has this year, and some of them getting really solid playing time and really coming up big. Adderholt 2 goals, 4 assists. Savannah Rachel 2 goals, 4 assists. Nevaeh Lewis, 16 goals. She's been another one of those spark plugs for this squad. Her and Taylor Huff are one of the 2 best 1-2 punches in the state. So they get the cross here, but cleared out. Right to Huff, though. Taylor kicks it back into the 18, but it's cleared out again. Now Mowry tries to get it in.
Just so congested in front of the goal. Taylor goes to shoot a shot, and you have 2-3 defenders that are kind of acting as goalkeepers almost, making it very difficult. So let's see if Madison can kind of use some space to their advantage.
And look at Tennant coming about 15, 20 yards out of the 18 to get that, knowing that if Madison can get that fast break going on, she might be in trouble.
Yeah, so what St. Mary's then, they're holding the high line. They're trying to catch Madison in off guard, and then, hey, if Madison's playing a long through ball, they've made it very clear for their goalkeeper that, hey, you're to come off your line and you're to help clear anything out. A lot of those she's outside the box, so she can't necessarily pick it up, but she's going to have to play it out.
And that cross was into the top of the net. Coming up on the midway point, really fast first half here. Still nothing in this Division II Regional Championship. Winner goes on to the state Final Four next week, with the winner of that heading to Map-Free Stadium at 4 o'clock on Friday. And Madison, it's state or bust pretty much for this squad. They know what they have. They were so close last year as Huff is fouled. They were so close. In that state championship match, they fell 2-0 to Alter, but with everybody returning, they knew if they don't get a state championship here, it's pretty much a failed season for them.
Yeah, and I think in your other regional final game that's being played today, you have Revere and I believe it's third-ranked Rocky River. So that's going to be another challenge there, but I think Madison would be lying if they.
And it's in. Madison on the board.
Natalie back there with the goal, I do believe.
You take a replay off of the Taylor Huff setup. Perfectly placed ball, got the curve on it and the header. I don't think you could have seen a better header right there. And the Lady Rams on the board.
And that's a Lady Ram goal.
Well, we were talking about, all right, how does Madison get a through ball or create an opportunity like there? Maybe that's going to be their bread and butter today is how can we make the most of a set piece, whether it's a corner or a free kick like there. But, yeah, beautiful ball, beautiful finish.
For the Rough Riders, number 2, Tabby Nouse, number 3, Lydia Will, number 11, Krista Rupert, and number 36.
So at the 20:45 mark of the first half, the Lady Rams on top. 1-0.
Now we see if things open up here for Madison. They've gotten a goal. I know St. Mary's, they had their 2 leading scorers out for that goal. They're back in. So you've got Lily Ankerman back in and Tabby Noss back in. So I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging for a St. Mary's squad here to try and get an equalizer like they saw in that regional semifinal game, but maybe they can surprise some folks here.
So 1-0 Madison. And that's a big goal for the Lady Rams now because, that takes all the momentum out of St. Mary's.
Yep.
I believe only 2 or 3 teams have scored 2 goals on Madison all year, and Madison hasn't given up a loss yet. So that first goal is huge for them to get that momentum rolling.
And I think, again, like we talked, St. Mary's coming into it probably knows that they don't have an offensive firepower like you're going to need now to be down 1-0. So it's going to be a big uphill battle even though you're only down 1-0 just to try and get an equalizer. You've seen possession now is really went towards Madison's favor, moving the ball around well.
Nice head there by Huff to get it back across the midfield line. 18:20 left here, opening half. And if you're St. Mary's, you're going to want to get that equalizer probably before the half, kind of like what you guys did in the district final, because you don't want Madison going into the half with all that momentum.
Yeah.
Yep. Back in the district final, you guys got a goal off a corner right before the half, tied it up, and that it pretty much reset everything after Madison got that goal midway through.
Yeah, because I think, St. Mary's, their game plan right now, they're trying not to veer away from that. But if you're still down 1-0, you're heading into halftime, then you got to start, all right, what changes do we have to make? You probably have to, toss a few more numbers forward, which then opens up that back line and some potential more.
Take another look at that goal as Bechtel and Lewis check back in, but Zach Huff couldn't have drawn that up any better.
Goalkeeper probably wants that one back a little bit. Looked like maybe she thought it was going wide and just kind of slapped a hand at it instead of getting over and trying to make an attempt on it. But we've seen a lot more substitutions today. Little warmer of a weather potentially, and trying to test out. There's that through ball that we were looking for.
It's the Mila Davis up to Lewis, but unable to get anything going as you look at the Baker's collision replay.
Probably 1-2 more touches there. You have the defender beat, go take the keeper on and slot it home.
St. Mary's trying the counterattack. That's going to be kicked out of bounds, but a foul after the kick.
That's a couple now. After a Madison, I think we had one earlier with Stanfield, and then now Tucker clearing the ball out of bounds after the play. Then
it looked like on the Baker's collision replay, she was from behind too, and that's not. Those hurt when you get clipped from behind on your
when you're not expecting it. Hopefully the referee keeps an eye on that.
Davis once again with it, trying to run that right side, and that's just going to be kicked out. So Madison will have a throw in. Adderholt checking back in for the Lady Rams. Peyton Wilson, the captain, senior defense will check back in as well as we come up on 15 minutes left here in the opening half of this regional championship in Region 6.
Just about to say Eckenweiler, Davis, Huff hadn't been out in the midfield. Getting him a little breather here midway through.
Davis, our player of the game in the regional semifinal, 2 goals. Nearly got a hat trick. And that'll be a foul. And that was one of those fouls that really didn't need to happen either. It looked like a collision after the ball was cleared out.
Yeah, I think a 50-50. I think it just was an unlucky in which Trinity was trying to maybe make a play on the ball. Just happened to miss it. Got the St. Mary's player. No one was really.
So St. Mary's with a straight-on set piece. And wide left, so not much doing there.
Yeah, a little wasted opportunity there. Again, like we talked to you, when you get an opportunity like that, you're going to have to make the most of it.
You watched again on the Baker's collision replay. So the Lady Rams will just clear that back to the midfield line. We were talking about the state bracket in Division II. On the other side, there's Granville, the number 2 team in the state. They tied Madison 2-2. Actually had a 2-0 lead. That wasn't for long, though, because right off of the kickoff after going up 2-0, Nevaeh Lewis comes down and scores, and then later on in the half, Taylor Huff able to hit the equalizer to keep the unbeaten streak going for Madison. But that's pretty much everybody in Division II. Everybody in the state's pretty much looking forward to hopefully seeing those 2 teams meet at MAP-free.
Yeah, and I think, probably another one.
Lewis with it.
As well, the team that beat Madison last year in the state championship being knocked out as well.
2 good chances there by the Lady Rams. Goes out. But yeah, Alter getting knocked out really sets up that 1 versus 2 if both squads can get past their regional final and state semifinal. In Granville, they're taking on Dover right now. They'll get the winner of Monroe and Oakwood if they were to win. And if Madison can hold on to this score, they will get the winner of Revere and Rocky River. Both those matches, state semifinal, will be at a place to be announced probably tomorrow by the OHSAA.
Yeah, we're hoping, and I'm sure Zach is as well, that it is a neutral site and doesn't come into play of the, hey, who is in the home
top
or the top of the bracket, because that would be a challenge then to have to try and travel then potentially to a Rocky River or a Revere. So I think all involved are hoping for a neutral site and not a home game for one of the teams, unless it's at Madison potentially. Then
maybe
then
Lexington
sure
or somewhere like that. Yeah. But I mean, last year's path was a little bit easier for Madison. They just went up 70-71 up the Brunswick, those areas to play, which isn't bad. Those are nice areas. But this 2-hour drive to play, I mean, this is the number 1 team in the state playing an unranked squad, and you got to come here. It's just, it baffles me that this is pretty much the only sport that does that as well. Football, you get home games for the higher seed or neutral site. Basketball's at all, tournament games are at neutral sites. Baseball, it's funny.
Yeah, then the year of COVID, everything's continuing to change.
Yeah.
But
nice ball there to Davis.
Good ball by Nevaeh there. Chesney with a good opportunity. Let's see if they can piece together that. So now you've kind of seen in which, we've moved then Chesney up top with Nevaeh, switching it up a little bit. You got Natalie back now out on the outside instead of up top. So just trying to switch it up a little bit on St. Mary's and see if you can test something out a little different.
And that's another thing that's great about this Madison squad. You can pretty much piece anybody. You have players playing the back line now that are really good goal scorers, like Trinity Tucker playing the back now, but that's just the selflessness of this squad. They'll do anything to get that state championship, even, taking away your scoring opportunity to play solid defense. I mean, you have Eckenweiler playing up as a forward now, but Paige Eldridge, she has the ability to score, but she's now playing goalie because of an injury in goal. It's a selfless play that's really gotten Madison to this point in an unbeaten streak.
Yeah, I think, some teams you don't have even the ability to go 1 or 2 players deep on the bench, and Madison's been able to do that. They've been able to move players around, and that's a good luxury to have.
And there's a really nice play by Tucker, really stopping that fast break by St. Mary's that Zach Huff was talking about before the match. They want to play those balls through, and if Trinity Tucker doesn't get there, then Lily Anchorman pretty much has a one-on-one with the net.
Yeah, and 20 goals on the year. She's obviously been put in that place.
St. Mary's looking to cross. There's Tucker once again, but it's in.
Wow.
So there's that one opportunity that they get, and we're tied at 1.
What a turn. I will give her that.
At the 9:34 mark, if you take a look on the Bakers replay, Tucker almost able to get it out, but what a move.
She's able to shield, makes a good move, good shot.
And Lily Anchorman answers with a Lady Rider goal.
Paige Eldridge would want that one back again, almost trying to punch the ball potentially instead of catching that with 2 hands. Well, we have ourselves a ball game, Travis. And I might go back on my words in which I said I didn't know if St. Mary's had the firepower to be able to get an equalizing goal on a team like Madison, and they've done just that. Their Cinderella continues.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to get that equalizer before the half just to get some of that momentum back, but also take advantage on the few opportunities that they've had in the offensive end and check that off the list right now. But now this is where Madison, this is where they hunker down, and this is where they get better, because after they give up a goal is when Madison really excels.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, like the saying, you poke the bear, and I think now St. Mary's has poked the bear. Let's see how they react. This is usually when that number 13 in the center usually now steps up, takes over the game, kind of puts the team on her back. So let's see what she does here.
And something that impressed me at the Toledo Central Catholic game, that's going to be offsides.
6 or 7.
Taylor she was getting fouled more and more as the game went. It was a little bit more chippy towards the end. She gets fouled about 25 yards out of the box, and instead of, playing on and retaliating, she took it all out on the ball and pretty much drilled a missile through the hands of the keeper and into the net. And I mean, that's how they play. They won't retaliate in the way that you'd expect. They retaliate by their play on the field.
Yeah. Yep.
And I compared it to Michael Jordan. You watched The Last Dance. How somebody now it was personal for me. They take it personal and take it out with their play on the field.
Yeah. And I think you've heard Zach say that time and time again that's not necessarily the player that Taylor is. She likes to let the game come to her. Likes to let her teammates get involved, create some opportunities for them. But at the same point, he probably wants her to do more of, hey, take over the game.
Ooh.
So she got the ball, came through it potentially with the body, is I'm guessing what he saw. That's one you could shrug your shoulders and you could go either way.
She was just, she got the ball out of the way, was going for it, and pretty much collided. Nonetheless, it's a free kick for Niekamp, the junior forward. St. Mary's looking to take the lead here in this regional championship game. We're coming up on 7 minutes left here in the half. A goal at the 9:34 mark by Anchorman ties this thing up. But here comes Lewis. Full speed, able to get by. One-on-one. Can she get it past the goalie? No. Nice save there by Tennant.
Much better. I'm happy to see there. And the last time she had it, hey, she ripped a shot from the 18. This one she takes the extra 2-3 touches, gets a little closer to the goalkeeper, trying to see if she can find an angle. I think the one now, play it on the ground, back post.
And on the Bakers replay, you saw that that the defender really was able to help cut off most of the net to allow the goalie to really get set up. The only spot that she could take it to make the easy save.
Just enough.
Mm-hmm. So we remain tied at 1 here. Multiple subs ready to come in for both sides. There's a nice clear. Can Lewis get to it? No. And once again, the keeper, Tennant, coming all the way out of the box just to reset the offense for them.
She's almost 30 yards out, acting almost as if she's an extra defender, kind of playing free safety back there in the back.
And she's going to have to watch that, because if she slips or miskicks that, it's an open net.
Yeah. Well, I think what it's going to take probably is a through ball there, in which you got a 50-50 challenge there, and let's see if Madison can potentially, just poke it by her, slot it home for a goal. Not sure.
And a whistle there.
I think she was.
They call an offside or a foul. Our setup down here, we're on field level.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tougher of a view, but thankfully we got our camera up high, so that one taken in to Eldridge.
Plays it out quick here to Eckenweiler.
Mowry trying to advance left side. That's knocked out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Lady Rams and Taylor Russell. 4:47 left here on a running first half clock. Match tied at 1 in this regional championship. And Anchorman with a chance here. And just the last second deflected out.
What a beautiful save by Paige Eldridge.
Take a look on the Bakers replay. Really coming out and cutting that off, and it
Did she
looked
hit
like
that with her arm, or was it her foot?
I think it might have been her knee. We'll take another look at it real quick. Yeah, it might have been the arm, but
it was her arm.
Saves the match for the moment. Now St. Mary's with a corner here. Coming up on 4 minutes left in the half. Kicks to the top of the box. Tried to be kicked in, but Madison clears it back over. And now Taylor Huff with the steal. So the Lady Rams survive that offensive threat.
Yeah, I think we got to see now in this back line for Madison. You got a group of seniors back here. Got to kind of rally the troops. Make sure we don't give up another silly one. What do we got? 3 minutes left.
And here comes Huff. This is the person you want to have the ball right now. Advances up to Mowry. Can she get to her? No. Nice sliding save there by Tennant to keep it out of the feet of Mowry. So a very aggressive keeper for St. Mary's.
Yeah, she kind of came out, won that with her foot, pulled it back in, grabbed it with her hand there.
That went off at Tucker. Stays in, kicked. Deflected off the hands of Eldridge once again. St. Mary's still with a chance, but it's cleared away. So St. Mary's now applying pressure in the last couple minutes.
Here.
Yeah.
They've got Madison on their heels.
That's a nice play on the ball. Down to Huff. Huff has 2 ahead of her. And she's just going to weave her way through. Can she get ahead? She can. Kicks it left. Can she get it on net? She got it!
There we go.
Taylor Huff, are you serious? Take a look at the replay, and she just weaved in and out of traffic, gets the keeper to commit, and gets it right by her.
And that's how quickly things can change, and how quickly she can go and take that game over.
Take a look one more time on the Bakers replay. She just swerving in and out. She had 4 defenders on her, and she was just easily able to weave in and out. Got the keeper to commit on her, and right as she was about to reach for the ball, pokes it right past her and into the corner of the net.
She just does such a great job of getting that defender on their heels, just slows them down just enough, and then uses her speed just to push it by them. And when she's in that opportunity, 9 times out of 10, she's finishing that.
Give all the credit to Huff, but you also have to give credit to Eldridge, because those 2 huge saves kept this game tied.
Yes.
And allowed Huff to get the tiebreaker.
Yes, yeah, just when you thought, I was kind of, hey, looks like Madison's potentially a little winded here. They're going to be able to finish the half, and that was exactly what they needed here heading into halftime.
So we'll see if the Lady Rams, whew, nice save there by Eldridge. Take a look on the Bakers replay.
That had some pace on it.
Got the extension, let the ball come to her, and makes the save.
Let's see if Madison can get another here real quick.
That's kicked ahead. I don't think Huff's going to be able to get to it, but I mean, if you're Madison, at the half, if you're up 2-1, that's perfect after what's happened here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, for controlling most of the possession and having the run of play early on in the first half, having a goal, and probably in, what, a 10, 12-minute stretch here. St. Mary's got a goal. Could have had a second or a third. And scores 2-1. We'll see now. It looks like Madison's put Huff up top with Nevaeh.
That one way out of bounds, so Madison will get a throw in here with 45 seconds left in the half. Be thrown in looking for Huff, but unable to get it. It goes back out of bounds. So they'll get another throw in. 30 seconds left. Once again looking for Huff. And she does get it for the moment. Nice play there by Bechtel because they were trying to look for that fast break.
Through the ball here. Let's see if Madison can get one.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
that
1.
will do it for the first half. Taylor Huff breaks the tie with 2.5 minutes left here. Madison with a 2-1 lead here in the match, and this has been pretty much a very good back-and-forth battle here, especially in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, I would say, like I said, you probably give the tip of the cap to Madison that first 20, 25 minutes. St. Mary's gets a little 10 to 12-minute stretch there, and then Madison finishes it strong with the last 5, getting the goal, kind of dominating, could have gotten a second or third there as well. Back and forth. We've got ourselves quite a ball game, surprisingly.
So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a little bit with stats and some halftime talk. You're watching the Division II Region 6 Girls Soccer Championship live and free on the OH Report. We'll be back.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Rinehardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Rinehardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
Shakely Mechanical, fully qualified to help you select the best HVAC or plumbing system to fit your budget. Need AC or heating repair service? Living in North Central Ohio, Shakely's is your go-to since 1995. Exceptional service, exceptional products.
Look up shakelymechanical.com today.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Halftime here in the Region 6, Division II Region 6 Championship. Madison leading St. Mary's 2-1. Travis Berardi, Greg Atkinson. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. Greg, 5 shots on goal for Madison, 4 for St. Mary's, but most of those came in that last rush. 3 saves apiece. 1 corner kick that goes to St. Mary's. Madison with no corner kicks, both with 1 assist, no yellows, no reds, 2-1 your score. But yeah, St. Mary's really put it on at the end of the half.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you look at the stats, a pretty evenly matched game, and I think it's kind of came in waves for both sides. But overall, I think we've been pleasantly surprised to see what the game's kind of turned into here, and now let's see what changes both sides make here at halftime, and kind of what we have in store for the last 40 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and we know Madison scores actually 2-1 in favor of Madison. Madison pretty much a second half squad. I know they gave up goals early to Granville, to Ontario, to schools like that, but then that second half they make those key adjustments that really shut things down.
Yeah, and we're going to see, because normally they're just able to just wear teams down by the time you get to the second half, and how well conditioned the Madison team is. They're usually able to withstand that. So, you know, St. Mary's is subbed pretty frequently and often, especially some of their players. You know, up top, Lily Ankerman's gotten a couple quick breathers, which is going to be what's key for them to kind of stand a chance here in the second half. But if they try to not sub and see what they have in store, Madison's going to do just like they've done in time and time again. They're going to wear you down, and you kind of saw that there right before the half.
Some first half. The scores, 20-45 minute back off of the nice set piece off the free kick by Huff. But then with 9:34, Anchorman really able to keep control inside the box and scored to equalize things up. But then with 2.5 minutes left, Taylor Huff did what Taylor Huff does. She dribbled through as she's fouled right there, dribbled through 4 defenders, and then got the goalie to commit before kicking it into the back of the net to give Madison the 2-1 lead as she's fouled. So they will have there'll be a free kick there for the Lady Rams. That'll be taken by Trinity Tucker. So we're just underway here in the second half of this regional final. Scores from around the area in this region: Rocky River leading 1-0 over Richfield Revere. There's a shot up and over the net.
Early goal here. Let's keep an eye on Taylor Huff. That a pretty hard tackle there. She's limping around here. Hopefully she can kind of shake it off.
Yeah, she did favor her knee a little bit there. Might have come down wrong. Another regional final. Granville, number 2 team in the state, up 3-0 on Dover as they approach the half. Nice move by Lewis. Gets the cross, but nobody's there. However, it's kept in, though. Nice move by Eckenweiler, yeah. Put on net, and that is saved. So Madison with an early chance here. I see Taylor Huff. She's back running the full speed, though, so maybe just a little bit of a stinger there on that tackle. And Tucker with authority boots that out.
I think it's just one that just continues to amaze me. You know, the effort that Taylor has to give game in, game out. You know, I think she was outside of the defenders, was the only one that wasn't subbed off there at any point in the first half. And, you know, you're, 38 minutes into a half. You've made run after run. And what do you do, though, is you take on 4 defenders and put your team up through it all. So that just continues to just be amazing of what she's capable of doing there.
So that long shot brought in by Paige Eldridge. Callie Cyrus getting ready to come in for the Lady Rams. She'll sub in right now. That's another one of those freshmen that gets a lot of playing time this year for Zach Huff's squad. She'll come in for Lewis.
Rams number 9, Callie Cyrus.
Early sub here. Nevaeh's been kind of battling an ankle injury for most of the season. Still not necessarily sure she's 100%.
Did see her favoring it just a little bit in the first
she was
half.
Coming off, yeah. I mean, anytime you have anything with your, kind of like they say in basketball, you got anything that you're with your hand, it makes it a lot more difficult. When you do as much running as you do in soccer, you get an ankle injury. It's tough to give it a rest.
Ball's still in. They're going to give it a goal kick
here.
But yeah, especially I've had ankle injuries as well, and it lingers unless you're off your ankle for a good week or two. You can play through it, but it's going to bother you. It's going to be tender there for a couple months.
Yeah, we say kind of the same about him. We had an Addie Turnball. She pulled growing. She'd been dealing with that for the last 4 or 5 games, and you just don't have a time to be able to shut someone down for probably that 2-3 weeks that you need. And that's another one, hamstring growing. Any of those that are make it extremely difficult in the game of soccer to kind of battle through.
Eckenweiler.
Good ball into the center here. So now you see a little bit different of a formation here by Madison. They've went and, all right, we're going to drop Stanfield back. She's going to play a deep sweeper. Trinity more of a stopper here. Keeping an eye on Anchorman there for St. Mary's. She's causing them a little bit of trouble. And then they're going 2 out wide, whereas normally they've only got 3 in the back. Usually sit Bechtel up in front of them. So
I want to say hello to some of the folks watching right here. Ashley Miller, Go Taylor, Vicky Snow Lawhun. Nice job, ladies. Mike Barrett, All-American moves. Yeah, that was some All-American moves by Taylor Huff. St. Mary's with a chance here. Anchorman, but it's cleared away by Taylor Huff. Brian Skoronsky, a familiar face at the OH Report. What a feed by the All-American and the freshman getting Madison on the board. The first one, that nice set piece to back. It's cleared out. So St. Mary's playing right at the top of the box right now, but then Taylor Huff says, no more, my friends. I'm going to kick that as far as I can.
I was going to give a shout out. So my sister, who coaches at Olentangy, who played Madison earlier in the year. I think it was their last game of the regular season. They're currently up 1-0 on a Bishop Watterson in their Division I regional final down there in the Columbus area. So another familiar face for a team like Madison. Hey, they pride themselves on one of the toughest schedules. One of your Division I teams is still in it down in the Columbus area that tied you early on.
And you guys don't you guys scrimmage them?
We had on our docket, we were gonna have Akron Hoban come down, who is still in the, they play Strongsville today, and then Olentangy was gonna come up as well. So it would have been a fun day of soccer. But
so how's that in the household? What's mom got to do? Who's she root for in something like that?
She waves the white flag, and
that kick is just.
She stays neutral. She stays neutral. We'll maybe say, all right, we got the 2 males in the household or on the Ontario side, so maybe she's got to even it up and go with the Olentangy side. But
actually, I did see her at the district final game rooting on Ontario.
Yeah.
So yeah, soccer runs in the family in the
yes, it does.
Atkinson household. And I know if you two are anything like your father, you guys are going to have really successful careers. St. Mary's still in the offensive end.
Had some opportunities here early on, even with the defensive setup that Madison has. They're continuing to find Lily's feet.
And that's going to be an offsides. But once again, you see Tennant standing 20, 25 yards ahead of the box there.
Yeah.
And like you said, she's kind of that 11th player, that defender back there.
Yeah, I mean, she's not even going back inside of her goal box majority of the time here unless Madison gets in, kind of comes at him with pace. She's staying off of her line. Might be one of those, maybe a little challenge to a Taylor Huff. Hey, if you get a little bit of space, can you see if you can drive a long-driven ball?
Yeah, and that's how they set up to Anchorman. They could start from the goalie. She comes out, just boots it back up to the middle. Huff versus 4 defenders. Can she do it again? Down the left side. Gets ahead. Still has it. Looking for the cross. It's kicked out. But I believe they're going to say one off a Huff.
It should be a corner kick here.
They're going to give a goal kick. It looked like Huff was able to get deflection off, but I don't know if it hit her before it went out or not. But
yeah. Not sure if we're able to see that one on a replay or not. I thought she had touched it and the defender played it, but either or. Sideline.
Take a look right here.
Right here.
Yeah, I don't know if it touched. Yeah, I don't know if off the deflection it came back off of her or not. But
sideline judge Eric Satterfield from the Mansfield area, so we'll allow him to. That's his. Chalk it up as his one that he gets for the day.
Well, we know everybody back home will now be getting on him if they do know him back in the Mansfield area.
Yes,
if that is the correct call or not. But like you said, we'll give him that one.
Yeah. Usually, fans at home, referees aren't allowed any mistakes.
Oh, nice pass there by Huff to Davis down the right side. She had 2 goals in the semi. Can she get the cross? No.
Another goal kick here.
That was a good job by the 2 defenders on that right side for St. Mary's really to hound her into making that mistake.
Yeah, and it's tough now, with the setup that Madison is playing, up top and not having a DeVea Lewis. You got a Natalie back. Was really the only other offensive attack that they had. So, she's one in there with 4. It's tough to find her feet potentially on a cross by Davis. But
Adderholt now into the box. Gets it stripped away for the second, but there's Huff. Well, nearly a foul in the box there. Cyrus still fighting for it. Nice play on the ball. She gets back the possession. Tucker, what a move there by her. Now she's off to the right side, has Cyrus ahead of her. She moves out of the way. Tucker still fighting for it. Gets kicked out, and it'll be a throw in for Madison, but great ball handling by 3 or 4 Madison Lady Rams there.
Your center defender showing you, hey, even the defenders can have a little bit of skill and able to get up and get in the offensive attack there.
And like we said earlier, she can – it's pretty much a forward playing defender back there. She just has so many skill sets that she can do that, come from midfield all the way up to the line.
And you have another one that's there in the back in Stanfield. I mean, I think she was, their second leading goal scorer last year, and now you have her making sure she's bringing this regional championship home and keeping St. Mary's out of the opposite end.
And nice job by Eckenweiler to really strip Anchorman and get the foul. So Madison's going to have a free kick here with 28 minutes coming up on the 28-minute mark here of the second half. Madison looking to go to its second consecutive state Final Four, looking to go back to the state championship game where they fell last year to Alter 2-0.
Been a real back and forth game here.
St. Mary's really with a solid game plan, especially offensively. And then like most defenses that we've seen all year against Madison, really stacking the box on the defensive side.
Yeah, and I think, right now with St. Mary's, with their forward up top, Ackerman, it doesn't look like she's coming back in, but when she's the one up top, that's really their offensive play. Pretty hard tackle there.
That was a good job by Adderholt a little bit earlier. She really stripped the ball from the St. Mary's defender to retain possession. And it's another just example of how good these freshmen are coming in. And I mean, yeah, big senior class for Madison, but give these freshmen a year or two and they've already been reloaded, especially with Nevaeh Lewis. It's like Zach Huff, he's grinning ear to ear when he sees the play from her because he's going to lose Taylor Huff, but then keep Lewis for 3 more years.
Yeah, and that's the key is anytime you get an opportunity like this, you want to make sure you can, because you don't – I know Zach just as much as he doesn't want to have that conversation or make the, we're rebuilding. He wants to continue to potentially be in that, hey, we're just reloading. And that'll be kind of a challenge that they're going to have to kind of run into. And we're in a similar boat next year. I think we've got 15 seniors that we could potentially have next year. And
yeah, we've been saying that next year Lady Warriors are looking like they could be the favorite in the district and possibly make a run, because I mean the last few years it's been pretty much the winner of that district final has a legit shot. As Lewis checks in now, she's trying for the cross.
Oh,
it goes
wow.
off the goalie and in.
That
Lewis gets the lucky bounce, and Madison leads 3-1
there. Wow, that's another one of those. Maybe every once in a while you need a little bit of luck your way there.
26:05 left in the match, and if you're St. Mary's, you can't let that happen. I mean, you're playing with house money as it is with the 2-1 deficit, but that just makes it that much tougher.
Guess maybe now's when I kind of challenge them. Can they come back and score another one or not? I didn't think they could earlier. Are they going to be able to do so, or is this going to go the opposite direction and kind of take the wind out of their sails?
Immediately, St. Mary's back at it. Gets the shot, but there's Eldridge able to flick it away. It stays in the box and goes out of bounds. Off of St. Mary's, so it'll be a goal kick. Let's take another look at the Bakers replay.
Always is kind of key. You always say the first minute or two after, scoring a goal or giving up a goal. You don't want to give one right back up.
What a feed from Taylor Huff, too, and then just looking for the cross and just got the bounce.
Yes.
Thanks to Baker's Collision for being sponsor of our replay today. At the 26:05 mark, Lewis from Huff. Just a ho-hum 4 points for Taylor Huff today.
Yeah, just another day in the park, right? That's one of those, I think, anytime as a coach you're trying to prepare, it's how do you just contain?
Here comes Lewis again. Can she get another goal? Gets it in on net, but this time the outside of the net.
Yeah, with a player of Taylor's caliber, I mean, there's no stopping. It's just more of, hey, how can I contain? How can I minimize and hope that she doesn't kind of take over? And she's shown that. We'll even attest to it 7 days ago.
So that'll be a foul, and Madison
got another free kick here. Let's see. See if Madison can make the most of this. We saw what they were able to do early on in the first half.
Huge kick there by Huff, and
Zach over here said drive it.
She drove
it for sure.
She almost kicked that to Dayton.
Yep.
Pass ahead to Cyrus. He's put in some quality minutes here for the Lady Rams. And you saw, we were talking about possibly, Lewis maybe, a little bit dinged up with that ankle, but she came in, and I get the break.
Yeah,
played
maybe just
perfectly
need a little
for
breather.
Him. Yeah.
There's sometimes, as a coach, hey, someone's not performing to your liking. You got to kind of, hey, take a seat for a little bit, think about it, and I know it looks like they had a conversation.
Yeah.
We need you. And she's come out and instant spark. So.
Yeah, she was standing next to one of the Madison assistants, just talking back and forth about what she can do. Comes in and immediately, makes that mark. And here she goes. Nope, that's going to be offsides. About to say she had a chance here. And that might be a little bit of the, freshman mistake right there. Yeah, I mean, she's played a whole season, but still, getting a little antsy trying to go after that ball, gets the offsides called.
And I'm sure this is an unfamiliar for a Madison team. With how much speed they have, for a team to go and try to pull an offsides trap, you're thinking, man, if we can time this right, it could just be off to the races and right in our favor. And so maybe it's something they're not necessarily used to.
Cyrus once again
battling down the sideline. And here's one, I mean, you think St. Mary's hasn't necessarily switched anything up. They're down 2 goals now. We're, almost 20 22 left in the game. You know, where do you start? When do you start getting offensive? You got to go and try to get one and maybe a second here to get yourself back in the game.
Number 3, Lydia
Let's see what they do here.
And number 24, Ariel Bass.
So that'll be
here for St. Mary's.
But yeah, for
Have
Madison,
we had any goal or corner kicks?
No, we just had the one from off the great save by Eldridge in that first half. But no, Madison has not had a goal kick yet, and that's, I mean, it's pretty crazy to say because Madison, you know, having so many attempts on net.
Yeah. I'd like to. I don't even know if that would be an advantage or not. We haven't seen it. We've seen the free kick, but a corner kick.
Lewis tried to feed it to Huff, kick back out.
Every single player on St. Mary's back behind the ball outside of the one up top.
And looking at St. Mary's, you're down 2 goals. You have to try and maybe force something. You can't be playing back like this. You can't be playing that, I mean, your strategy that you started off with. You're down 2 goals. You got to try and get something going.
Yep.
And for Madison, they're going to continue to play their game, but they can pull 1 or 2 people back to play a little bit more defense. You're up 2 goals.
Yeah, I think, you know, you saw that in our game against them last Saturday. Once, you know, Taylor got that third goal between her and Nevaeh, then, you know, you started to see Zach move Taylor back into that defensive end, and
Bechtel on net, just wide.
Gave it a little reassurance. But yeah, that's where I would be curious to see if St. Mary's starts to get to where they get a little more offensive, things start to open up. You could see then Madison maybe sneak a 4th or a 5th goal in here once things open up.
And this is the spot Madison wants St. Mary's right now.
Yep.
You know, there might have been a little bit of a hitch in the plan when, you know, Anchorman gets in there and scores the tying goal. It might have thrown him off for a little bit, but, you know, you give it to Huff, you reset, she gets the goal, and it just
a bend but don't break.
Exactly. It gets them back into that mindset, their game plan of, you know, playing from ahead. Lewis, nice move there. Tries to get the cross, but there is nobody to be found, and it's brought out by Tennant. And just seeing the defensive change for Madison, Eldridge really hasn't seen much in the second half.
Outside of that one early on, and then after Madison scored that, second or third goal here?
Goal, yeah.
You know, they went down, they had an opportunity, but yeah, outside of that, it stayed pretty much in St. Mary's half of the field.
And I mean, Madison, they can afford to kick it on net, get these goal kicks, because it runs time off the clock as well.
Yep.
If you're open, take the shot. If it goes out of bounds, that's a good 5-6 seconds taken off for the goalie to reset and get everything set up. So, I mean, you're able to. If you have an open look, you might as well take it right now.
Yeah. Now you start to kind of use take your time. You know, you're not rushing to put anything down and getting a kick. You potentially start to see, take it to a corner. Whatever the case may be. And in this case, too, you get to catch a breather. You know, now we get to settle in, wait for them to kind of come back at you, and you're getting a breather rather than having to sub.
So coming up on 18 minutes left here, Madison up 3-1. Oh, nice move here. St. Mary's, there's the chance they have. Left side, the Lydia Will. Quickly cut off, though, by Stanfield. There's a collision, and it's going to be a foul on St. Mary's. So Phyllis Stanfield, what a job there by her.
Came out of nowhere.
And, yeah, St. Mary's offensive player leaned right into her. She draws the foul in the box, and Madison can clear it out of there, as we saw on the Baker's collision replay.
Those are always one that, tough as a defender. You want to make sure, as I'm coming across, you know, I don't want to do anything to where maybe I'm giving up a PK, so you're playing maybe a little bit more tentative, but she went into that tackle hard. And
I mean, that was just solid defense right there. Solid fundamental defense by Phyllis Stanfield. She, you know, played defense first, got possession of the ball, and then just boxed out.
Drew a foul.
The offensive player and drew the foul, yeah. St. Mary's, however, still has possession here on the throw-in. I mean, they're gonna have to score here. That's thrown out, and that's going to be Madison possession on a throw-in. Bechtel loses control. St. Mary's with a chance, but once again flicked away and out of bounds. So runs clock off, allows Madison to reset the defense.
Just playing it out of bounds, eliminating any potential opportunity that you have for St. Mary's to kind of control the ball.
Lewis now with the steal.
Forward coming back and getting involved.
And now she's able to get control. See her make the move. Oh, what a move. Easily by one defender. She has 2 ahead of her, now 3. Now Taylor Huff joins in on the action and slows things down. Eckenweiler.
Is this going to be our first corner? It is.
Yes, it is. So finally, Madison
yes.
able to set something up here.
Only took us 60 minutes.
Looks like Bechtel will take the corner. She's not rushing to get over there either, which is completely fine.
Taking some time figuring out who's going to go and going to get it.
And you have to think if Madison
play it short here.
Exactly. If Madison can convert here, you got to think that's probably the game.
Handball.
Nope. Referee had the whistle in his mouth for a second, took it back out.
Sometimes you'll get a referee that'll say, hey, if you kept your arms kind of in and towards your body, you were defending yourself. It's not one, but an opportunity there where it's in the box.
Huff trying to draw across. Stayed in for a second, a misplay to Tucker. Now to the middle.
Mowry there trying to get it out wide.
Zach Huff yelling, shoot the ball. He had Mowry had a shot on net, but instead looked to the pass. But like we said, you're up 2 goals, take the shot.
Yeah.
If it goes in, hey, you just pretty much clinched the match.
You're trying to be a little unselfish, but somebody have some fun.
Yeah. So Madison with the throw-in. Tried to get to the Huff, stays in the box. Now it's cleared out. And there's the kick by Back, and that's like we said, it's fine. So now a substitution. Peyton Wilson comes back in. She'll replace Gabby Keller. So we come up on the 14-minute mark. 14 minutes remaining.
Seen a couple less substitutions here in the second half.
Julie Wilkinson saying go Rams. Stacy Wampler, go Trinity. Shannon Morgan and girls. Stacy Cannon, go Page. Rob Sweck, way to go Rams.
Still looks like it's 1-0 in the Rocky River and Revere game. So if all were to hold serve, you'd see a
Where would you think a neutral site would be for that?
You're probably gonna see. Rocky River is pretty far up there, so man, I don't even know where that you might even run into where you would see Brunswick or Wadsworth kind of stands out to me.
I know Ashley Bechtel and company likes that area. Bechtel with the golden goal to
yes
send Madison to the state final.
Yeah, I think that was up at Medina,
yep.
Wasn't it there last year? Yeah. So yeah, I know when we advanced, we had a couple years back we had played. I think it was a Holy Name, and that was at Wadsworth, and that's probably Holy Name's in the same area there as the Rocky River. But it's all kind of dependent on what school wants to host. You know, you get a lot of these schools in the time we're in now. They don't necessarily want to host a game and kind of deal with all the COVID restrictions and the potential risks. So I think that's the risk the unfortunate thing that Ohio High School is running into is finding a site that wants to host that's a happy median. So,
and just with with the neutral sites, they kind of favor the other squad. We even saw this in football last year. Mansfield Senior going up to pretty much 10 minutes away from the other schools. You have Madison coming out here, but so most of these times, these neutral sites are going to be more towards the opposite school. But, I mean, this Madison squad, they'll play anywhere. I mean, yeah, they took a 2-hour drive, but it's a business trip for the Lady Rams, and they'll play you anywhere. They'll play you on the moon if they have to.
And I think with the weather you see, I think, we got some nice weather coming up middle of this next week. Normally even you've got some rain at this time, some potentially even some snow. So you're trying to find a turf field. And another corner kick here for St. Mary's.
So Eldridge unable to corral that one, and St. Mary's now with 11:30 left. They desperately need to get on the board here to cut this to 1.
And now you see to where they toss almost everybody up in the box. Madison's going to bring everybody back as well to defend.
That's going towards the top of the box, headed in.
Corner here. Ball's bouncing
got a
around.
Collision. Referee's letting that go. And it's going to be played all the way back across midfield, and the goalie has it right there. Huff with a nice header. So that's going to get right to Lewis if she can get to it. Oh, just out of the reach.
Zach trying to motivate the freshman here.
That's just Zach Huff for you, though. I mean, he wants the best from you, and that's what good coaches do. I know your dad does the same thing. It's if they don't look like they're making a good play, you're going to get yelled at. If they make a great play, you're going to get applauded. They're going to commend you for both ways, and I like that in a coach that both ways, not just put you down but then picks you back up.
Well, and then that's what you have to have, and that's why someone like Zach's done a great job with these girls, is because you have a great group that has a lot of potential, and if you don't push them to that and maximize that potential every day, this could be their last game, and you kind of underachieve, and you're playing the shoulda, coulda, woulda, and what if, and so you have to have somebody like that to.
And Madison's going to get another corner
here,
and also just with the expectations of this year, you're going to get. I mean, they're going to coach to that next level just because they know the potential.
Yep. And you'll get some that may feel differently. They want someone that's a little more quiet or different things. But
Davis with the corner, and that's going. No, it's not going to be cleared. Finally, will. Not kept in though, so just barely down the sideline and out. So Madison will get the throw in. Long day for the OH Report. We're here at St. Mary's, but at 3 o'clock, Lexington Shawnee back at Lexington High School. That'll be live. Brian Skoronsky and Jesse Ryder getting ready for that call as we speak. And I know Brian's watching the match, so have a good call, buddy. And then later we'll have highlights of Shelby Van Wert. The regional football championship is here it comes once again. Anchorman, can she get by everybody? She has a one-on-one, gets it past, but it's wide, just wide of the net.
What a great job by Paige Eldridge coming out, eliminating that angle, making it extremely tough for Anchorman here.
And Eldridge just comes out and just cuts off that last shot.
And that's one to where you, as a coach, you'll tell a keeper, hey, I want you to come out and I want you to challenge her. She sits back on her line. She's a sitting duck. Anchorman would be able then just to go ahead and then tap it in from there. St. Mary's with a corner here.
8:18 left. And there's Taylor Huff to head it away. But St. Mary's will gain control. Chesney Davis with the deflection for the moment. And allowed Madison to reset the defense, and that's just going to be kicked away to midfield. So we got this game going on. We have Lexington, then we will have highlights of Shelby Van Wert, the Division IV Region 14 championship. That's coming from Shelby. Also, for the ones that want to listen to that game, WMAN 100.1. Eric Will, Aaron Hines will be on the call, help out them with stats. So full day of sports in North Central Ohio. 3 regional championships. It couldn't get any better.
No,
it's a beautiful day for it, too.
Beautiful day. A couple local teams. I think, Shelby, is that the last team within the area?
Lucas lost to JFK last night, 21-0, but a great season for them as well. Their third consecutive regional championship appearance. Last year they went to the state final before falling. But, a lot of quality sports teams all around. in North Central Ohio. Cross country, volleyball, soccer, everything.
State championship this morning down
at Lexington running in that.
I would be curious to see what Lexington girls looking to claim their 4th straight state championship on the girls' side. So would be curious to see if they were able to do that.
I can actually look it up because I know our friend Jake Furr from the News Journal was down there.
Got a ball played in here, headed out by Eckenweiler.
Eckenweiler once again. I mean, this defense picking it up when needed.
Again, kind of like Madison did last week against Ontario. You know, Taylor's now drifted back a little bit more. Not saying that the defense isn't able to handle it on your own, but just gives you a little bit of reassurance. Some stability back there, and just finishing this game now.
And we do have an update from Columbus. The Lexington, Lady Lex, champions for the 4th consecutive time with a score of 91. Oakwood, 2nd place, 103.
I don't think
Hallie Hamilton from Lexington finishes 3rd overall with a time of 18:25. So Lady Lex, 4 straight Division II state championships. So all the accolades around here. And Madison now 550 away from another regional championship. Eldridge with the easy save.
Tough challenge there for.
We're going to have a possible stoppage of play. No, she's going to be able to get up.
Oh, we've got another one, number 2 over here. What is that? The NOS.
Possibly a cramp.
She looks like she potentially is hurt as well. So we've got.
Now we do have a stoppage in play.
A couple really good players here. The top 2 players from a points perspective for St. Mary's.
We're actually going to take a quick timeout with the clock stopped with 5:24 remaining here in the regional championship. Madison leading 3-1. We'll be back.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Rinehardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Rinehardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
Shakely Mechanical, fully qualified to help you select the best HVAC or plumbing system to fit your budget. Need AC or heating repair service? Living in North Central Ohio, Shakely's is your go-to since 1995. Exceptional service, exceptional products.
Look up shakelymechanical.com today.
5:30 left here in the Division II Region 6 Championship. Madison, the #1 team in the state, leading 3-1. And it looks like they're going to be on their way back to a state Final Four next week. Probably up towards the Cleveland area. We'll have to wait for the final of the other match. As Greg is furiously looking.
Still looks like 1-0. Rocky River there in that game. Looks like Granville still is up 3-0 in their game. So
that
your #1, your #2, and your #3 teams in the state are all taking care of business to set up quite the Final Four.
So you're saying the coaches pretty much got it right when they were doing the rankings in the final regular season rankings.
Yeah. At least from the top team perspective, we'll give them that.
Yeah, Ontario, you guys had a really good run, especially towards the end of the season. And I mean, like we said, Brian and I said, the winner of that district championship was probably going to make it to a state Final Four. It's just how good that's been. And that shows how good that soccer has just become in North Central Ohio. Not only you guys, not only Madison, but you see Clear Fork now working their way up. You see Lexington working their way up. You have a Crestview, you have a Mansfield Christian on the girls' side.
Ashland, if they weren't in Division I.
Oh, Ashland, and they barely lost. I think they lost in overtime at their district semi or their district final.
Really good Anthony Wayne team. So yeah, no, it's definitely, I think Richland County has put ourselves on the map that we've got some teams to be reckoned with.
4:15 left. And then on the boys' side, there's Lexington, second straight season they're playing in a regional final with a chance to face the team possibly in a state semifinal that knocked them out in the state semifinal last year. They're facing a Shawnee team here in a little bit. That kick's going to be in about an hour and a half that, I
think they got a 6-2 result earlier in the year. So same thing. They probably like their chances. Coach Pete Thames going to have to make sure, hey, let's stay focused, boys. Let's not look ahead or anything like that. And kind of, we like to call those as games as coaches a trap game. You got to make sure that you take care of your business. But playing at home, that's a big plus.
Yeah. And I know Madison should have been playing at home here, but nonetheless, they're going to take. Looks like they're going to take care of business, and they'll go anywhere and take care of business. Yeah. They've already gone to Granville, like we said, the number 2 team in the state. They went down early as well, which was huge to see them come back against a team that's just as good as them and tie that match up. So this team looks like, and I said this a couple times. Lewis barely unable to get a chance there, but I've said it before. This Madison team reminds me of the Mansfield Christian boys teams a few years ago when they won the state championship. The year before, they made it to the final, got that taste. The next year, they were focused, laser focused on getting back. They did, and they ended up winning it all. And that's what this Madison team kind of reminds me of. Yep.
Yeah, and I think, and when we've made our runs in the past, we Final Four, we've been to a state final, and we'll always kind of talk it that you got to have the talent, you got to have the drive from the girls, which they have. And then you sometimes even just need a little bit of luck. Yeah. You need it. There might have been games when we've made those runs. We might not necessarily have played our best game or might not have had the best team, but you a bounce like you had with the Nevaeh Lewis goal, that bounces your way, and next thing you know, you're into a Final Four, you're into a state final.
It's like Lexington last year against Bay.
Yeah,
that rainy turf.
Yep.
At Worcester, they played pretty much 10 inside the box defensively, got 2 breakaways, got a lucky bounce on that game winner, 2 in overtime. Yep. It bounced off of a Bay player right to the feet of Lexington, and they were able to then kick it at the net. The goalie thought he was out further, so he didn't play it, thought it was going to go by him, goes into the net. It's just those lucky rolls that could determine if a team goes to a championship or if they lose in a district final.
Yep. It looks like St. Mary's here is going to pull out a couple of their seniors, get a couple players into the game.
Emma Burt, Katie Lucas coming out. And
right there.
And Peyton Wilson.
Yep.
This is a team, like we said earlier, this is a really solid team. They deserve to make it to this regional final. They're going to finish 17-4-1, but nothing to hold their heads down on. They're district champions. District champions and regional runners-up. You made it to the Elite 8.
Yes. Yep. And you'll get some programs that they only can dream of getting to this point. You've done that, and in a time like now, with COVID and the restrictions and no summer activities, all those like everyone's dealing with, that just makes it even more of a special moment. That, despite all, it's a positive thing to remember.
Under a minute to play. And the Lady Rams, Lewis still fighting, puts it on net just wide, but you see the Lady Rams out in front of their dugout now getting ready to storm onto the field and celebrate another regional championship and another trip to the state Final Four. And they're going to actually call a corner kick, so, we're running down on 30 seconds. This will probably be the last play of the match as Madison once again will go to the state Final Four. $15 seconds left. Bechtel takes the corner. Deflected over, taken by the goalie.
8, 7, 6,
5 seconds
5,
remaining.
4,
3,
2, 1.
And that will do it. Your final score, number 1, Madison 3. Unranked St. Mary's 1. The Madison Lady Rams, back-to-back regional champions. They're on to the state Final Four. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with some stats and our players of the game. I think we're going to Taylor Huff, a player of the game, and we want to talk to Paige Eldridge too, because she had some great saves at the end of the first half. So we'll talk to Taylor Huff and Paige Eldridge in a little bit. Let's get the stats, and we will be back right here, live and free on the OH Report.
Who's got your case? Be smart. Get Rinehardt. If you get hurt, we get you back in the game. We deploy our investigators to preserve evidence. We have the courtroom experience to show the insurance companies that we mean business. We know that getting the job done is what matters. Be smart. Get Rinehardt. Contact us at besmartlegal.com.
Shakely Mechanical, fully qualified to help you select the best HVAC or plumbing system to fit your budget. Need AC or heating repair service? Living in North Central Ohio, Shakely's is your go-to since 1995. Exceptional service, exceptional products.
Look up shakelymechanical.com today.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community. I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Time now for our Mechanics Bank players of the game. First up for the Lady Rams, it is Taylor Huff. Taylor, ho-hum 4 points for you today. You had 2 assists. You had the big goal. Just take me first through that goal. You had to dribble through, I think, 4 defenders and still was able to poke it past a leaping goalie.
They played a really different defense, one that we haven't seen that much this year. So, I mean, I knew I couldn't play the ball through, so I had to dribble. I did it multiple times, like played the ball through, and then I finally learned that you can't do that. So I had to dribble through the defenders, and that was the way to go.
I mean, I was talking to your dad before the match. It's pretty much like a business trip. I know it kind of stunk that you guys are the higher seed, you're the number 1 team in the state, the number 1 overall seed, and you still had to make the 2-hour trip in a bus here. But it seems like no matter where you guys go, you'll go anywhere just to play.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we just have to go wherever we are, wherever we travel. We don't have to be home or away. I mean, we're used to being away anyways. We played so many away games this year, so we just have to be ready wherever we go.
And thoughts on a 3rd regional championship in your 4-year career here? Just thoughts on just this team overall the last 4 years.
I mean, it's awesome, and it's super incredible that we got to play in 3 regional matches. So, I mean, I'm just so proud of all of us.
All right. Thank you very much, Taylor. Now we're going to hand it off to our, like I said, co-players of the game. Now Paige Eldridge, the senior keeper. Paige, take me through the end of the first half. They get the 1 goal to equalize it up, and then they had 2 really good shots on net, and you made 2 phenomenal saves. Just take me through that last sequence of the first half.
So basically, we were doing really good throughout the first half, but like we started to shut down after they started to pressure really good, and so they had really 2 good shots, like you said, and I just had to stay composed, stay by the goal, and try to stop every single ball that came to me.
And I mean, those 2 saves were huge because right after that, Taylor comes down, puts you guys back up 2-1 right before the half. And that was, I think, those saves and that goal pretty much changed the complexion of this match. What did Coach say to you at the half after taking that lead back?
Well, he talked about their goal. He said that there was not much I could do about it. And then he was telling me about the other saves that I had, and he just told me good job and that I needed to stay with it the second half, and yeah.
All right, thoughts now. You're going back to the state Final Four. You were there last year, but I know this is a different mindset for you guys. It's pretty much it's state or bust. I mean, you guys win another regional championship. That's great, but it seems like your guys' mindset is getting that state championship.
Yeah, it's awesome. We know what to expect from here on out, and we're excited to be here again, and yeah. All
right, and next I think you guys are going to be playing Rocky River. Just thoughts on going back to the state Final Four and facing them.
I heard Rocky River's really good, but we're taking it 1 game at a time. We know what they can do. We know they're really good, so yeah.
All right. Thank you. Our Mechanics Bank players of the game, Taylor Huff, Paige Eldridge. I'll take your headset. Thank you very much, and I'll bring Greg back over here as we will take a look at the final stats of the match. You know what? Madison just pretty much took care of business in the second half. It finishes St. Mary's 9 shots on goal, 4 saves, 1 assist, 3 corners, no yellow, no red. So they only had 1 decent corner kick chance. On the other side for Madison, 8 shots on goal, 7 saves, 2 assists, 3 corners, no yellows, no reds. They get the 3 goals. First half, back off of the nice set piece from Huff at the 20:45 mark, made it 1-0. 9:34 mark, Anchorman, 9:34 mark to tie things up. And then with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half, it was Taylor Huff driving through multiple defenders, getting the shot off right as the goalie was reaching for her, gets it 2-1. And then in the second half, Nevaeh Lewis, I mean, it was somewhat luck there too. Gets the feed from Huff, tries to cross it back, it deflects off the goalie, goes into the net to pretty much shut things down from there, and Madison wins 3-1. But like I was talking to Paige, I think the game-changing moment was her, after that tying goal was scored, making the 2 huge saves that led to Huff to get the tie-breaking goal.
Yeah, no, I think that would have been an unfamiliar place for them, especially all things considered with what St. Mary's was tossing, a little bit unfamiliar with how to attack. And yeah, if that would have been then became a 2-1 game or then even a 3-1 game, that would have been, a challenge, and Madison really would have had to dig deep there. But yeah, I think outstanding game by Paige Eldridge there.
All right, that'll wrap things up here from St. Mary's High School. I'd like to thank Greg Atkinson for coming over here. I know being an Ontario coach, it might be a little tough watching Madison playing this, but I appreciate you coming on.
I'm not disowned when I get back of going and being a part of this, but
thank you for that. Jory Hollenbeck, amazing camera work by her today. I know the sun, she had to be underneath a coat just because the sun was coming down. She couldn't see the screen, so she was pretty much underneath a little bit of an awning, some shade there, but great. Thanks to her. Thanks to Adam Thompson helping out with the graphics. Brian Skoronsky, owner of the OH Report. We'd like to also thank St. Mary's for allowing us to bring you folks back in Mansfield this great match. That'll do it. Once again, your final score, number 1 Madison, regional champions once again, third time in the last 4 years, second straight time, looking to get back to that state championship game. It looks like they'll play Rocky River next week.
Rocky River, so should be a good game.
And also, folks, don't forget, in about an hour from now, we will be live from Lexington High School. Lexington taking on Shawnee for a chance for them to make it back to the state Final Four. Brian Skoronsky and Jesse Ryder will be on the call. But that'll do it from here. Have a good afternoon, folks, and we'll see you again on a stream near you right here on Facebook and YouTube. See ya, everybody.
Turn left, turn right, and JT's is a little sports bar.